Ah, Ragefire Chasm. Yeah, I'm sure if I was a Horde player, this would be a lot more familiar to myself, but I always thought it was a pretty interesting, well, instance, because, well, it's the lowest one in the game. Well, I guess until, it got changed, I suppose. But, I always thought it was really interesting that, my alliance itself, whatever, right, didn't really play Horde, that, there's this, a dungeon lower than, Dead Mines, and that, what was it, it didn't really drop any blues. It did, but the vanilla version, the one I'm most familiar with, I didn't really play Cataclysm or anything like that. I always thought it was really neat, the just this concept of a lower end kind of beginner kind of dungeon, right? And I thought it was really aesthetically neat too, because this big face thing, right? You start off and there's not too many poles. I guess this is to teach people how to how to just group, I suppose. It's easy stuff, right? And no one's got gear, I suppose. Either people have like maybe the odd like green, they could do this with white gear, I suppose. But yeah, I made my dungeon whenever making it. I think might have too many NPCs in there, but maybe that's for the better because there's this one. I want to add more NPCs and stuff here, but first off, I wanted to just go through like how neat this dungeon is. Look at this. This is all like it's all all the hand painted textures of that Blizzard has. These are all painted and stuff, right? But it's a big mods. Look at that. Isn't that cool looking? I always thought this was really neat. It seems like there was like a theme running throughout the dungeon, or just to make like a big cool dangerous. This place looks dangerous. It's like that just happens to be like the lowest end dungeon. It's just like it's kind of odd. There's a trogs here too, and it's I thought it was it's a really unique kind of dungeon. Um, yeah, it's just that like I was originally gonna do like just do some I don't know make just do some footage and then record over it, but then I realized that I don't know, I like talking while I'm just looking around and stuff, right? But yeah, or is it this dungeon has went through a bunch of changes and stuff, like Cataclysm. I think they moved the boss over here. This what's his name, Ogleflint, whatever. And yeah, I just it's been moved around. Also, it was after Cataclysm. When it was they had the Garrosh thing, whatever, Miss Pandaria, and the dungeon got like changed. So it got changed in Cataclysm to make it more like what was it? They basically removed it and put elementals and stuff there, more to like the Earth, the Sundry, or whatever, right? And then they got changed again, and Miss Pandaria, whatever, right? And that's a version like we got or retail has now, but old Ogleflint. And yeah, it's just I don't know. I always liked the original one though. I always liked the big demon guy in the middle. I always liked the just the idea of having just the trogs and stuff. It seems like more of a pure idea. I kind of like the idea of like the trogs and the orcs later on and the boss. It just seemed more my type of what was it liking. I didn't like the idea of having like this weird dog thing, and later it ate all the trogs and some weird like just really like people wearing like really nice not nice but just really over the top bling armor in what was it later versions. It just seemed it was kind of like not selling out, but like almost felt like like hookers, they wear like nice not nice, but they try to wear like clothing to make themselves like stand out. It seemed kind of like that kind of effect where it was like, whoa, look at these badass guys, whoa. Maybe it wasn't their intention, but it kind of just felt a bit I don't know, unnatural. These lower tiers supposed to have like the crappy gear, the stuff that's like the welfare sets, right? This is even worse than the dead mine supposedly, right? All these people wearing all these crazy armor and stuff. It just I don't know, this kind of, it just doesn't really. So if you look at these guys, right, these orcs coming up here, I thought it was really neat. Just a bunch of elementals and stuff here. And, but see, these guys, these are the proper guys. They have the welfare set. Look at this. This isn't not, it's proper, right? It's not like over the top, over flashy. Yeah, maybe it was vanilla, but I think they should, if they're gonna be like the lowest end of the dungeon, they should kind of look the part, not these big, giant, flashy, crazy dudes. I'll put some item or some what they look like, a picture of it, right? Look at this. Okay, I'll put the guy right here, and I'll put the crazy flashy dudes like on the other side there. Still frame's gonna have to do, knowing my production quality. Anyway, you can still see my point though, right? Well, it's yeah, you see my point though? It's just like, I don't know, I always felt that it kind of like, I always liked Blizzard, or just World of Warcraft in general, because like, unlike a bunch of crazy, usually Asian MMOs that have like all, like, you get like, all the best gear right away, I felt like you have to go through like the welfare sets, like the like an RPG, you gotta go through like all the crappy gear, you know, RuneScape, whatever. Or, not quite like a RuneScape, yeah, RuneScape definitely. But when you get all the nice flash gear right away, you kind of sell out. But I don't know. I think World of Warcraft kind of died, and was it when they kind of Activision bought them, because it kind of, this target changed. For me, it died because the targeting, my I like difficult games. I was raised on like Baldur's Gate, RuneScape, Legend of Zelda, you know, Ocarina of Time, the first Legend of Zelda. It's kind of the more adventure, mystery, exploration, kind of dangerous. You gotta use your mind to figure out the puzzles, you know, or just how to achieve your goals. But it's yeah, I always like this. It's always a really neat dungeon because it's um like no one's got you know, greens are like, wow man, you got a green like level 10, you know. You can go and buy them in the auction house, yeah, but questing, they're kind of hard to come by. You have to either kill like rares, or you can maybe build the quest with like, you get like maybe 2 greens when you're done with it, right? And like level 10 ones, like level 5 green and stuff, maybe like 1 drop. But then these guys, like, if you can get your band together, your group, and fight these elites and stuff, and you can maybe get blues, right? That's like, whoa, how'd you get that cool blue sword, right? And it's like, oh man, I killed this giant demon dude, like, he's like, in this big pit of lava, and so that sounds really intense, whoa, you know? It's just, and then, what was it, yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it just seems like kind of neat idea, because it's like, well, it's the lower levels, and like, you know, so it's like, why not have a dungeon for like level like 13 to 16? It kind of made sense to me, I guess. Like, yeah, I always thought this dungeon was really neat, because it's just like, well, first off, the Horde had it, and it was always kind of like a mystery, you know. For myself, I was a Alliance player usually, most exclusively, pretty much. I was like, whoa, man. And then when the group finder hit, whatever, like the dungeon finder, whatever, I was like, whoa, I heard this mysterious, weird dungeon, you know, for level 10 there. So I was, you know, I'm a big database researcher, dude. I know like a whole crap ton of items on the database, right? It's just do tons and tons of research, right? So I saw these like level 13, 14, what was it, blues or whatever, what have you. I'm like, whoa, it was crazy. I'm in the twinking, right? You know, when the twinking bracket went down to like level 14, I was like, whoa, you know, and you know, thought I was kind of looked into that and stuff, and I was like, whoa, what's it? Then this dungeon really caught my eye, and it's not, and it's all these years later that it's just, I thought, you know, like it really, you know, settled the concept, that is, you know, of just like a really neat like low level dungeon. Um, Yeah, so I'm working on the Frostmane Enclave in Dun Moreau of the trays, the ice trolls, in the Frostmane clan, what have you, or tribe. And yeah, I found this that basically I found I don't think the model is this cool. It's not like this. I don't think many dungeons are actually look this neat. So it's kind of hard to top. But I found that this big ice cave that was unused in the Blizzard, not Blizzard, the model viewer, right? And yes, the cave's not exclusively unused. There's like a spider version, like with spider webs and stuff. It looks a bit different. It's got basically retextured skin, some different doodads in it, and it's used in Northrend. But there's this snow cave I couldn't find anywhere. You know, it was in the vanilla files, I'm pretty sure, and I want to use that as the Dunmero dungeon. And yeah, because it's just, I thought this concept is really neat, just to have like a low-level dungeon with, you know. But my dungeon's got mostly frost trolls and stuff in it, with the odd trog boss and stuff like that. And but yeah, so it's just, you know, thought it was really neat just to have a low-level dungeon. And what I want to do with these dungeons is just make it so you could drop weapons, like blue weapons. You have a 20% drop to drop a blue off a boss, right? And I'm kind of toying with the idea that the rares would have a 20% chance to spawn if I can get that to work, and they'd have like a 20% chance to drop a blue, right? But maybe it'd be like something special, like a maybe a ring or something like that, or something. Maybe that's too early for rings, but something unique and you could kind of get excited for. Maybe something with like a conjuring thing that could last longer, or like a something that would like summon a potion or something. I don't know, something that would like be a bit interesting, or just maybe a good weapon or something, right? Or just an armor piece or something like that. So yeah, so yeah, what I basically want with these dungeon is just to, have the vanilla version of it, right? But just have ha what was it? Take like, one of the coolest bosses was a this big dire the fellow orc guy in one of the I think it's the retail version or the cat. I'm not quite sure, but it's in one of the newer versions. And I like kind of like that idea. Right near the end of it, there was a so just I'd add that guy to this dungeon, and just in between the well, if I could make my Frostmane Enclave dungeon basically the Alliance counterpart to this, be up in the Ironforge Airport there. If I can get Tinker Town to have a second level and stuff like that, and all that work and nerdy stuff. But yeah, so I always like this dungeon, so I wanted to make like a Alliance one and kind of stars kind of aligned, and there was already existing models and stuff like that, and the lore was kind of there, and it just it was unused area, what have you, and yada yada yada, right? And yeah, it was just how was it? So if I can get this all pulled together, I can. How was it? Hopefully, I can make a level 13 to 16 dungeon for the Alliance. It'd be the Frostbite Enclave, which so it's kind of interesting. There's a big lava cave for this, and it'd be a big ice cave for the Alliance. I'm not quite sure how I would use it though, but I guess some things are just not meant to be known all at once. Anyway, guys, bye for now. Take care. Have fun. This is with Amnesia signing out.